So we've parked the vehicle. We're in parking brakes on. We're in our neutral setting. So when that we switch from the driving the steering wheel to going into the rail mode. So once basically we've got into our loading area on the rail and we've lined up our area on our tracks, we're then going to push this mode right here. This is road transfer rail. So once we get on the rail, we're then going to go to transfer mode. So now once I'm on transfer mode, I'm going to look in my mirrors and see if my rail gear looks pretty well lined up with my track. And then if it does, I'm going to hit this arrow right here. This is going to lower, this is my front rail, this is my rear. This is going to lower my front rail gear. You hold this down until it goes on the rail. Now we're on the rail.
Okay.
And then if I decide, hey, everything's good on the rail right here, I'm gonna, and my rear looks good, I'm gonna lower my rear. Okay, so now I have all 4 rail gear on the rail. And if I feel comfortable with visual inspection around the machine that I'm lined up, I'm then going to switch the mode to rail mode. Oh. So what that little sensor was saying is that my tires were not straight lined up because the steering wheel got bumped.
Yep.
So it's going to tell you to straighten the wheel before you start driving. So now I'm going to start this process over because my axle seems to be the rail gear in the rear is up. Front rail gear is there. Okay. So one thing to note is you see this little line right here on the axle. It has to be blue in order to go into the rail mode.
Yep.
So it was orange, meaning that the axle was slightly turned. So now we're good. So I'm going to go back and lower the gear. Front's down. And the rear is down. So now I'm going to go to rail mode. So now I'm in the rail. So here's how your operation works on the rail. So this is the vehicle brake right here. So we're going to hold that down. This right here is the train brake. So we don't need that train brake on right now since we're already at a stop. So then I'm going to hit the parking brake off. And I'm going to go into drive. I moved into forward. Here's my throttle. So I'm going to release the brake. I didn't go into forward. Hang on. It wants me to reset my parking brake. Okay, so now it says we're in forward. So I'm going to release this. And we're going to essentially idle forward, and then I can throttle as needed.
Yep.
And then let go of the throttle and apply the vehicle brake. So now we're going to go in reverse. Okay, we're in R1. So again, brake off, and then throttle as necessary. And if I need to switch gears, I simply hold the button down and go forward or left for positive gear or reducing your gear.
Yep.
So now I'm going to apply the brake and go back into neutral. And I'm going to put the parking brake on. Okay? And that is the operation of moving the machine forward and backward while we're on the rail. So now if I'm ready to move tracks, I'm still in rail mode. I'm going to disconnect my coupler and everything, get in my loading spot. I'm then going to go back up to transfer mode, and I'm going to lift rail gear and lift the rail gear here. And then if I need to release the coupler for the front or the rear, I'm just going to hold this button here. So if I see this, you'll see the pin come up. Right there. And it'll be the same action in the rear. And then this one here slides the coupler left and right, and then this would be the rear so that you can line them up with where you need to be at. And this is how you're going to pull the train brake to charge your air, and then you have your red is your main reservoir, and then the white is going to be your brake. And then this is going to be the application of the train brake right here. So that's primarily it. And then once we're back on the road, we'll then just go up to road mode. And then to go into road mode, you need to turn your seat around and use the steering wheel. You're not able to use these functions as far as the throttle when you're in road mode.